I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
Jimmy on a beat, boy.
Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. 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 BOOMER, please your dusty mood don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer.
Jimmy on a
Okie
beat,
dokie,
boy.
boomer.
We made it. We're still here, I think.
Okie dokie, boomer.
Okie dokie, boomer. Am I chopping your head off there?
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
cut my
little
head
bit.
off. It's
Yeah,
all
I'm in the short chair tonight, so I might have to fix that. Hi, everybody.
I kind of mess with my camera too, I think. Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
there
do too. I can't keep my hands off of my private things like my camera. So.
I
Yeah.
thought you learned to do that in school when you were a kid.
I really should have. I should have done that. Hey,
Hey,
there's
chat, what's up?
AKL. Hey, good to see you. Crone of Anarchy, Steve Cutler.
Nice.
Vic, VSA Dems,
Vic.
Popeye. Hey, Popeye.
Popeye, you crack me up with the Ovaltine.
Oh, that's funny. It's like I heard somebody reference Product 19 the other day, and it took me a while to remember. Yeah, I ate that shit once.
Hey, Farron.
Farron Balanced is
I've
in
been
here.
having a blast watching you.
Oh, shit. Did you know, I noticed a couple of things.
What's
One
that?
of them is Farron has a beautiful voice. She can sing.
Yes, she absolutely does.
She can
yes.
sing. So, Farron,
Comedian, a little bit of comedic chops in there.
yeah,
And,
unless we get her fired Friday when we go on her show, she's going to be on our show next Saturday night. So we'll have to get her to sing everybody a song. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we're scheduled to go on Fault Lines with Farron Balanced and Jamal Thomas next Friday morning on their podcast. Looking forward to it, Farron. We watched Friday. It was hilarious. Kate
Yeah, good
alerted
show.
me how funny it was. I ran over there and caught it. You are a comedic wonder. So we really do appreciate that about people because you can always win an argument when you're funny.
Right,
So,
right, yeah.
That is the way to go.
Funny in facts.
Funny in fact. Who's over on the fin? I can't see the fin yet.
Rockfin. We got Snorky. Hey, Snork.
Snark!
Got Edwards. Jim. Hey, Jim. Anna Maris. Kate.
Kate!
I cleaned my glasses just so I could see, and then I never put them on.
Shit,
That's
I
what
gotta
I do.
clean my
SF
eyeballs.
Thomas. Hey, SF Thomas. No Brave New Future. Weird. Amber King. Amber King is out on vacay. It's spring break in the Northwest, so she'll be back.
Yes,
Maybe next Friday after next, I
she
think.
will be back. Now, you pulled this reface
These are
out of...
oldies but goodies.
Yeah, they are. They're out of the vault there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
These are some of our original refaces.
Yeah, some of the original stuff. I love the original stuff. And then, this one's still my favorite. You do a wonderful Marilyn.
Aw, thanks. Well, we're upgrading the show. Like we're doing a reboot here next month, and so I've been packing. And you always find cool stuff when you pack.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like,
I've been
forgot about
cleaning.
this.
Yeah, I've been cleaning. I deleted a whole segment off of tonight's show. I had to redo it today because I was cleaning too much. Too much.
Delete. I hate when
Yeah,
I
I
do that.
know. I do too. I hate it.
Damn
Too.
it.
Hey, Uncle Warren's in the house. Uncle Warren.
Warren.
What's Uncle Warren doing? Hey, he's
Hey,
got
Osama
got a
number
new show.
5.
Hey, Osama Fred Edward. Good to see you. Lucky Catalytic Centaur. God, they're all piling in. This is great. Thanks for the support, guys. We appreciate
AK Ellie, welcome.
it. Ellie. So
Oh, we got a big show. But I
Yeah.
wanted to show you this. I've been playing around on the Canva, if you can't tell, but you can always find Joey's coffee at our link tree, which is hand roasted, handcrafted by Joey. And of course, B&B Engineering. I got to play with some graphics.
yeah, we're gonna all kinds of stuff. We even have a title, B&B Engineering. So, and,
Yeah.
And remember, everybody, this show's satire. We have a very serious couple of segments in here tonight. One of them is going to be a little controversial. So I hope that everybody
I don't
remembers.
know why you like to bring the ones that
I
rile
know, it's
people
a
up.
tough
Why do
one.
you do that?
Yeah, but honestly, we had enough in the deck for 2 shows tonight.
I
and
know.
I had to
It's
cut.
a busy news week or what?
Yeah, Chanda had to cut, and we were cutting for the last half hour, saying, "Oh, we got to move it to Tuesday. We got to move it to Tuesday." So,
God, so much hit the cutting room floor.
oh my God, it was something else. So, anyway, remember, this show is satire. Everybody, don't take anything too personally. If
No,
you do,
do not.
scroll on by. That's scroll on by. Is that a Dionne Warwick song?
Yeah. Walk on by.
Walk on by.
Trying to get our.
Anyway, we got a special shout out to Kate, Kamshwari Kate. You were the inspiration for this one because you like
Kate.
the old stuff like me and anybody else. Have you ever heard of a talking horse?
Of course.
Listen to this.
When I get up for breakfast, there's no oats in the bin, 'cause everything is going out and nothing's coming in. Believe me when I tell you, I've heard
Pasta
the
makes a great Wilbur.
news.
Yeah, he does.
I got those empty feed bag blues.
Wow.
My pretty filly told me to stay away tonight, 'cause all that I bring with me is a healthy appetite. Why am I so unlucky? Me with 4 horseshoes. I got those empty feed bag blues.
I'm going to rename that song to The Dems Got Elected Empty Feedback Blues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
So, hey,
Ed.
Eric.
Pasta's a good sport. Thank you, Pasta, for letting us make fun
Yeah,
again.
he
The
is a-
combo couch.
Yeah,
Join the combo couch.
Pasta's the best sport. We put him on anything from a potato to a God, everything Pasta goes on to a gladiator. I'm working on a Superman one with Pasta again
Oh, he's
because
gonna
that went
love
over
that,
so
yeah.
well. Great refaces. Yeah, thank you, Cirrus. That program has a little limitations, but combine that with a little Da Vinci, and we get it pretty close. So yeah,
You're getting better every week, too.
we're trying. Lucky Burrito, Kate, satire. This is how we find out the Beauty and the Boomer is satire. They have to tell us. Yeah, I know. We have to tell you.
That's why we had to put, a warning. A warning. We should have a trigger warning on here, too.
Yeah, there is a trigger warning, but moving right along because we do have a big show, and
So I kind of thought that we would hurry up and jump out in front and talk about the Will Smith, because that's a story that's never going away, and then the AOC, and just get them done and over with, right? Because everybody else has already beat him to death. There's really nothing new to say, So other than OJ, if you haven't seen OJ, he put his 2 cents out.
now, how
that I
does
thought
OJ
was
weigh in on something
freaking
like
hilarious.
this? I can't believe this. Anyway,
Yeah, what warrants this? But he says everybody was calling for him to,
OJ
his
Simpson.
response.
What they
yeah.
I hope
We were
he-
out here, the masses were just clamoring. for
God
OJ's
damn, I hope he's
response.
not wearing gloves. Check this shit out. This is
The gloves
crazy.
don't fit. You must have quit.
Question I've been getting is Will Smith and Chris Rock. Hey, look, it was unfortunate. I think Will was
He's
wrong.
partying.
Look,
I know, right?
I understood the feeling. Now, in my life, I've been through a lot of crap, and I was raising 2 young kids, and every comedian in the country had an OJ routine, and don't think I wouldn't want to be slapped a couple of those guys, but you got to accept it's humor, and I didn't even think that was all that egregious. I thought it was a semi-unfunny joke, but I don't know. I don't get it. I know this. After what happened to me in Las Vegas, if I would have done that in front of 1 billion people watching around the world, they would have given me life without. I'm just saying. Hey, take care.
Holy shit. Did he really crack that joke?
He did crack that joke. Evil really does prevail.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
And I love that he's partying with the ooh, ooh,
yeah,
ooh
well,
in
shit.
the background.
Yeah.
Right?
How long was he in the stripy hole? I can't remember.
Not very long, what, a couple of years max. And that's really because he kind of got set up. I mean, honestly, they went after him. You know,
wow. That's crazy. Yeah, O.J. Simpson, that's rich. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg.
Turned my stomach.
Whoopi Goldberg says calling Hollywood stars elites is akin to racism. In what reality? What reality is that?
Karen Johnson.
Oh my God in heaven. Jesus Christ. How can that be? Shanda, can you eke that out at all for
my
me?
curtain that's geeking out or yours?
I don't know. Am I geeking out? I don't know.
Well, no, look, I've got.
Oh, I'll fix it.
Is it me or you?
It's you.
It's me. It's always me. That's what he always says.
Gotta be
always
you.
me.
It's just gotta be you.
Karen Johnson needs to just be quiet. I'm so tired of hearing from this woman every week. Who tapped her for, we must know what she says and thinks at all times.
Yeah, I got rid of your crack.
Thank you.
So
I wish somebody spackled that shit.
Anyway, go away now, Whoopi. So, you know, the Hadron Collider has been working overtime lately, but this is what really happened at the Academy Awards, and the Hadron Collider is why it happened.
Damn marmot.
Jada, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Uh-oh, Richard. I'm crying. I'm not crying.
That was cute. That was cute.
I'm gonna credit Fair and Balanced for that offering this week. Thank you, Farron. That was a crack me up.
Thanks.
I'm glad Spider-Man intervened in that multiverse and saved
Right.
us.
So I mean, where are we at with this? Will has resigned from the Academy, right?
Yeah.
He's taken a gracious step down, and he'll stay gone until they tell him he can come back. And Chris, you know, he did his first set and kind of made a joke about it, but says he doesn't want to talk about it right now because he's going to write jokes about it for the future. And it's basically everybody else losing their shit.
Yeah, and Pfizer is riding high. Pfizer is riding high. There you go. And brought to you by Pfizer.
We'll revisit this in 6 months, and I will go get the clips of what we said. And I'm going to be like, I told you so. I've actually thought about doing a show called I Told You So.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I have a deck. It's already made up. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
Titles and graphics.
That would be terrific. We need to have a show, I Told You So. But, you know, where we can bring on guests so they can tell us so.
Yeah.
So you brought this meme right here. I thought it was pretty apropos.
Yeah. the lizard people, and then we had Will Smith slap Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Yeah, and they are lizard people.
And
I'm all tripped up here. We've got, let me see, what do we got here? Oh, this happened too. I wanted to just briefly talk about this. This is AOC getting ready to take credit for the union victory against Amazon. I think everybody's been talking about that, so we thought we'd bring it. Coworker, why do you call everyone a fucker? And me as gender neutral. Thank you, Shanda.
You're welcome. And I've been using that. It works beautifully. Totally. Yeah, it makes everybody gender neutral.
No, that's very good. So here's
this AOC, you know, they do these video shoots for Vogue of them putting their makeup on in the morning, and like they tap all these famous celebrities to do it. And I think AOC has done one, and this must be, you know, just a sample of
it.
That.
Has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Her and Vogue really get along. You know, she was at the Met Gala, and they did the whole follow her around.
I wonder why. Yeah, you brought this too. So Jesse Smalls got this, and was this actually his speech? Can you read that?
Well, we want to thank Jeff Bezos for going to space between why it does not make sense. We want to thank
Jeff Bezos for going to space.
Going to space because while he was up there, we were organizing a union. Chris Smalls, who was fired by Amazon in 2020, union organizer, is now the president of the Amazon Labor Union, which is an official union because they voted this week. And then AOC stepped in and tried to take credit for it, right? When she would not even show up for any of this shit. She canceled. Then she came up with a bunch of bullshit excuses, and your girl Crystal Ball smacked her ass down on Twitter, of all people.
Yeah, I know. Crystal had a rare moment in the limelight there, so
Rare, yeah.
But
I just giggled when I saw it. I was like, "Good for you, Crystal." Yeah, call her out.
I have to. I'll give her credit for that bit of drama this week too. But I want to remind Crystal.
I don't know.
If you, Crystal,
another rich person out.
Crystal, if you live in a glass house, be careful where you throw those stones.
Exactly.
Right. That's what you need to do. And then you brought this too. This is a kind of a
It's not incompetence. They're destroying the country on purpose. You dumb fucks.
Yeah, no. They are doing it on purpose, and I don't get that, because once they cook the planet to the ground and drown everybody and burn everybody, what are they going to do? Go to Mars and get eaten by lizard people? What the hell? I don't know.
No.
Does it work that way? Or do they even care?
They got to have 500 million. 500 million or under, right? I think the Georgia Guidestones even say less than that.
Oh.
But once they get the population down to a manageable, and you're allowed to be alive and in the city, you are part of the system. There'll be these smart cities, and no,
so
it's a matter of getting rid of us. There won't be pollution, and there won't be that. People won't go out into the wooded areas. There won't be wooded areas. There'll only be the city.
So it's going to be like Logan's Run. You get to live till you're 34 years old, and then they spin you out and make fertilizer out of you.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was terrible,
I'm thinking. Sister Fiorella posted this one today. I thought, food for thought. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. You are here. This is kind of a depressing meme, but is there anything you can really argue with? No,
it is exactly where we are, right? We talk about all of these, all of them. 1984, They Live, Brave New Future, Animal Farm, Mad Max, Idiocracy, Soylent Green, Fahrenheit 451, Hunger Games. Yeah, we're living smack dab in the middle of all of these.
Yeah, I think they left out THX 11 something. I can't remember that. So that was with Robert Duvall back in the day. Maybe.
But they could have thrown a zombie one in there too.
Yeah, they could have. They might as well throw a zombie one in there. Thank you, Sister Fiorella. It's always appreciated when you give us a meme.
Today.
She did.
She put a post up about our story. Facebook has your stories. And I'm like, oh, it says, see what Fiorella has been up to, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, let's see what Fi's up to. I click it. She's laying by a pool. I'm like, rude.
That's like Sister Amber King. She's snapping pictures of palm trees and blue-green shores.
She's on sunny shores. Yeah,
she's on sunny shores. All right, shall we get this over with? This is the serious one.
Okay, you explain this to me because I haven't looked at any of it yet.
All right. You know how they're trying to ramp up censorship, Silicon Valley. Okay.
Ramp it up. Yeah, they're there.
They are ramping up
full board.
Censorship, and they are doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. Now, I want to bring this, and I have taken the opportunity to add a little bit of humor, but I'm damn serious. This is a damn serious topic. It's a very serious topic, and I had the dishonor of stapling my face to Chuck Todd's face today, and it came out too good for my blood. So, but let's take a look, and this is a serious topic that he's talking about. So let's give it a whirl here.
Welcome back. This week, the White House proclaimed April as National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. One of the fastest growing threats to women is online harassment. The latest government statistics show 1 in 3 women under the age of 35 have experienced a type of essentially sexual harassment online. It's often underreported and many times not taken seriously, despite its serious risk to mental health and physical safety. The Biden administration is now committed to a new global partnership for action on gender-based online harassment and abuse. The goal, deliver an action plan on combating technology-facilitated gender-based violence by the end of this year.
there's not really anything I disagreed with him as far as the spirit of what he's saying about violence against women, sexual harassment, and everything else. It's they are weaponizing this to have and incur more censorship. And it's just really shitty how...
We saw that with Me Too.
Yeah,
really heavy
Me
with
Too's
Too.
done that.
Yeah.
All of them have done that. So everybody that says, hey, you guys, you know, you shouldn't be saying this about this because... No, it is a thing. Believe me, that's why I'm over here working with the ladies at Roar Media and any other of the ladies. I am helping ladies facilitate their voices because of this, that, and everything else. It is a thing. Now, this was appalling to me, and I know that Jimmy featured this afternoon, and this is what made me want to double down on what he said. But I'm going to show this clip again, and then we're going to get into it just a little bit, and we'll give you a straight-up opinion, and agree or not, this is the facts.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating. And terrifying. It's horrifying. I'm so sorry. It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
Ugh. Oh, God.
Okay, that
Really? Really? Okay.
okay.
I was supposed to buy that, but okay.
No, you were supposed to buy that. Now, what she's saying for the everyday person out, woman, person who gets this kind of shit, I agree, absolutely. I've had death threats. I've had people shit on me, tear me apart.
It's the internet.
The internet. It's the goddamn internet. I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Now, this was Jimmy's take today, and I happen to agree with it. So I'm going to show everybody, if you haven't seen it, if you like Jimmy or not, it doesn't make any difference. I happen to agree. And Glenn Greenwald's a big part of this. So let's give it a good listen here.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I
don't think I can do it again.
Suicide.
Here we go. Let's have Jimmy.
Taylor Lorenz is worse than the people who come at her on Twitter. This is her article, Taylor Lorenz article, going after someone's family. So the headline is, the Instagram stars hiding their famous Muslim-hating mom. So she's going after Instagram's people's stars' family. She's going after their family. That thing she just was crying about, that thing she was just crying about, the phony, faking liar, and she is a liar. She does the exact thing, but on a much bigger platform. She's not doing it as a rando on Twitter that nobody has to look at, see, or read. She's doing it in major publications. So Glenn Greenwald showed that he's the one who caught this. It says, girl with no job, Jackie OP problems, and the rest of Instagram's famous family have gone to great lengths to conceal the identity of their Islamophobic mother. So she's digging in people's families. She's doing this. That thing she just cried about. But it's a bigger point.
It's so fun, though.
But it's a bigger point that I want to make, right? So that it's not necessarily just Taylor Lorenz, but this is pervasive now, and this is a big call for more censorship, and that's what they're doing. Yeah. This is more control by the establishment. This is more control to Silicon Valley, which is in bed with the politicians, right? With the Democratic Party. So this is what Glenn Green. You want to know how elite Taylor Lorenz actually is? He said it is. Glenn Greenwald says it is almost impossible to envision a single individual in whom power, privilege, and elite prerogative reside more abundantly than Taylor Lorenz. Using the metrics of elite liberal culture, the word privilege was practically invented for her. A rich, straight white woman from a wealthy family raised in Greenwich, Connecticut, and educated in actual Swiss boarding schools, who now writes about people's lives, often casually destroying those lives, on the front pages of the most powerful East Coast newspapers on the planet. That's who she is. That's who Taylor Lorenz is, which is why she's not cut out for the real fucking world, which is why she needs a nanny state or a daddy to come and protect her from mean things people are saying on Twitter after I ruin their lives, call them evil and white supremacists. And then they say things about me and I have to read them. You're made to read them. No one has to read the things people tweet at you. All right, that's you doing it on purpose for your own self-aggrandizement, and now you're a darling of the wackadoo left who thinks that censorship is good.
And censorship is never good, and that's the risk you take when you get on Twitter and these other social media platforms.
Yeah.
And I know young women, young ladies have committed suicide because of some of the shit that's happened. It's a tough world out there.
It's tough to be out there. Everybody, anybody. It doesn't matter if you're high society or, you know, a deplorable in a basement. You say one wrong thing and the internet will detox and cancel you. But she's
a journalist. She should know better.
Journalist. She should know better. And, you know, I just have no use for this spoiled, nepotistic, elite, you know, she's a mean girl to me.
They're weaponizing this thing
for a whiny, cry, mean girl.
They're weaponizing this thing to censor more.
Come save me.
Yeah, come save me. Now this is from Beth, a female eBeth at eBeth360, and I think Jimmy featured this too. A female journalist died last month covering the war, and these psychopaths are mourning Taylor Lorenz, a spoiled little rich girl that probably got her job that way. Taylor Lorenz says she has severe PTSD from being a journalist and breaks down in MSB interview. MSNBS. You know, this everybody remember, there have been people out there trying to blackmail people on the internet via social media, all these things. But this just makes me sick to my stomach because they're using a serious issue and they're weaponizing
that's how they do it.
That's
how they do it. Oh my God, look at, we have to do something about this.
Yeah.
And they got Silicon Valley, so they will. They will do something about it.
Absolutely. And so
you didn't.
Yes.
Oh, lucky me.
Yes, I did. I absolutely did because
I'm sorry,
this is
guys.
this
You'll
is,
never hear me whine like this.
This is Beauty and the Boomer, guys. So I am giving them zero credit. MSNBS is a propaganda arm. CIA, whoever is running them. So this is what we think of Taylor's situation, and we mourn the loss of that journalist that lost her life, and everybody else, all the brutalized and abused women and people who forever. But this Taylor Lorenz is what makes it harder and worse for everybody. Can I say Tara Reid 50,000 times? Please. Tara Reid 50,000 times, and so many others that are abused. But anyway, this is what we think of you, Taylor, and your newspaper and all of them. So here we go.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating and terrifying. It's horrifying. I'm so sorry. It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
Such patience, Oz, you have. Thank you.
I had to.
I you know, this story, people like this just make me sick.
They do. They make me sick, and they are working with the establishment, the government, the CAA, the CIA, Hollywood, and all of them to censor us all that much more. One of these days, I'll be out in the garden thinking about all you guys, and I miss you already. So that being said, where are we at now? Do we have a voice of sanity here?
Yes. Chris Hedges, I think he's promoting a book because I've seen him pop up in quite a few interviews this week. But this was from his show, and he's over on Substack. You got to go to Substack, especially now with what's happened with RT. So he had Richard Wolff on, and I love Richard Wolff. I love Chris Hedges. So I brought a couple of clips. Few minutes of Chris, few minutes of Chris.
Yeah, I have so much respect for both of these guys, and we don't always agree on everything, but all due respect. And Robert Reich, you can just go hit the road,
Oh my God,
Robert.
take a hike.
Take
dude.
a hike, Reich.
Take a hike.
Anyway, here we go. Let's hear what Chris and Richard have to say. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not.
All right, Chanda, what's going on?
What happened? What happened?
Well, let me try the other one.
Are the cuts there on mine?
Yeah, it's on mine too.
Elites know there is a crisis. They agreed, at least temporarily, to throw money at it with a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 bill known as American Rescue Plan, ARP, and some $3 trillion dedicated over the next few years to addressing the country's badly decayed infrastructure. But the sum $5 trillion will not alter the structural inequalities, either by raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour or imposing taxes and regulations on corporations or the billionaire class that saw its wealth increase by a staggering $1.1 trillion since the start of the pandemic. The health system will remain privatized, meaning the insurance and pharmaceutical corporations will reap a windfall of tens of billions of dollars with the ARP. And this, when they are already making record profits. Corporations that do construction and repair work will reap similar windfalls, enriching stockholders. 84% of stocks in America are held by just 10% of the population. And providing lavish bonuses to corporate managers. The endless wars in the Middle East and the bloated military budget that funds them will remain sacrosanct. Wall Street and the predatory global speculators that profit from the massive levels of debt peonage imposed on an underpaid working class and loot the U.S. Treasury and our casino capitalism will continue to funnel money upwards into the hands of a tiny oligarchic cabal. There will be no campaign finance reform to end our system of legalized bribery. The giant tech monopolies will remain intact. The fossil fuel companies will continue to ravage the ecosystem. The militarized police, censorship imposed by digital media platforms, vast prison system, harsher and harsher laws aimed at curbing domestic terrorism and dissent, and wholesale government surveillance will be, as they were before, the primary instruments of state control. What happens to the majority of Americans who get government support for only a few months? What are they supposed to do when the checks stop arriving at the end of the year? What happens when the money for infrastructure projects runs out? Will our roads, bridges, harbors, public transportation, and electric grids again be neglected? Will the federal government orchestrate another massive relief and infrastructure package?
There's not a damn thing he said there that's not true.
No, we're seeing it. We're filling it. We're filling it at the gas pump. If, those who've been following me for a couple of years, I take you along video wise when I go to the food bank just to show you how long the line is. And it's even longer than it was a year ago when I was doing those type of videos. When you are the working poor, every single penny, every item that you buy, everything that you need, when it raises, it's okay. Well, gas gone up a little bit. Gas has gone up, bread's gone up, milk's gone up, eggs have gone up. Every single thing you have to buy has gone up by massive amounts in the last year. And so the answer, he goes, what are they going to print out some more checks? Are they going to, more spending? Is that really going to be the answer? I mean, nobody's really even talking about how to fix this. It's just Ukraine. Let's go to war with Ukraine. We got to go to war with Ukraine. It's Russia's fault that everything's so expensive.
No, and they're
No. But is it? We had a supply chain that broke down globally damn near for the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're
A
profit.
workforce that couldn't go to work.
They're profiting off of it. Huge. I heard
Huge, and they're blaming it on goddamn Russia.
Yeah, they're blaming
No.
it on Russia. If it's not Trump, it's Russia.
The dollar store went from $1 to $1.25. When you're poor, that extra quarter for every 4 fucking items, when you get to the 5th one, it adds up on you.
Oh, that's
you know?
a hell of a mark. That's a 25% markup there.
And everything across the board. I went shopping for the first time yesterday in a couple of weeks, and I was shocked. Just like my cart was, just outrageous. Hundreds of dollars just to walk out of there for one cart full of stuff. Like,
was that Neiman Marcus?
You would think it was. You would
Yeah.
think it was. And at the food bank, normally you get eggs, you get a whole pound of butter. They'll give you a gallon of milk. Now it's a half gallon of milk. Now it's 1 cube of margarine. Not even eggs this time around. The government box that I got had a can of pork in it from the early 2000s. It expired like 2002.
A can of
that's
what?
Canned pork, government pork. Yeah, if you've never seen the government pork, hey, if you ever were poor and on welfare, especially in the 80s, you know what government pork is. It's canned pork. It's chunks, and when you open it, it's all gelatinous. And if you're creative, you can make, like a sweet and sour pork, or you can make stuff out of it.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Hey, when you're poor, you get creative with the food.
Oh, I know that. I mean, just try.
And I could write a cookbook on how to walk into a pantry and make a meal out of whatever's in there, canned and dry wise. Just because when you're poor, you live out of pantry.
I learned how to do that in college. Let's hear the other part of this. Let's see if I can get it to roll.
Well, yeah, I love Richard Wolf's response.
Yeah, and then I got a couple of comments that you might not know about.
Okay.
Joining me to discuss these relief bills and the future of the American economy is the economist Richard Wolf, a visiting professor in the graduate program in international affairs of the New School in New York, who hosts the nationally syndicated program Economic Update with Richard Wolf, which is produced by Democracy at Work. So, Rick, let's talk. It's a lot of money, $5 trillion. But let's break it down and what it really means. We can start with the COVID relief bill and then go on to the infrastructure bill proposal.
Well, I think the basic message of both of these big bills is that the capitalist system of the United States is now 100% on life support from the government. It is literally life support in the COVID case because of the disastrous failure of our public health system to manage. We are 4% of the world's population, and we have 20% of the world's deaths from COVID. It is a staggering statistic that screams the inadequacy of what was done here. And so we're going to throw money at it rather than asking what were the conditions that produced a failure of this magnitude. And for that, blaming Mr. Trump won't do. It does not go far enough to understand why it was even possible for one politician like that to be able to act in the way that he did. And it's really the same with the infrastructure bill, because there it's again a government on life support, having neglected our infrastructure so that we are a disaster. That's according to the engineers here in the United States, not some foreign entity making a value judgment. We have let that go because of the structure of our system. Private enterprises are not charged with maintaining the infrastructure. That's a government function. But the government, unwilling or unable to tax corporations and the rich, does not have the money to do it, neglects it because you can get away with that as a politician. It's our political economic system. You put all this together, and yeah, they're throwing tons of money at it, but that is a substitute for changing any of the basic conditions that brought both the public health disaster and the neglected infrastructure to the critical point that something has to be done. And throwing money at it is the last gasp step of a system unwilling to question its basic structures and looking for a temporary quick.
Well, yeah, whatever money that we do throw at it just gets funneled up to the frickin' top because that's the way the system's been designed and ran for it's privatized. So
everything's
even
privatized.
when we do get something through and we do get money to go towards one of these programs, they just suck it all up and it ends up in their pockets anyways.
With all the money that we have moved to Ukraine through either weapons or anything else.
I know. Oh my God. We could have erased student debt. We could have funded universal health care. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have housed everybody that's homeless.
People. Yeah.
It's staggering. And I heard another statistic yesterday or this morning. They're shooting for $1 trillion budget for the military next time around.
Yeah.
$1 trillion budget.
But they can't even tell you how many homeless are in America because they really technically haven't counted in a couple of years. We're talking 2.5 years. I've got a homeless report, so later. But we'll talk about how, we can't even talk about the problems inside of our country.
No.
Infrastructure, homelessness, so many.
But let's let that sink in. Just with this Ukraine, whatever the hell it is, this Cold War, this World War III something, with just the money in this one, we could have solved so many problems in local and national jurisdictions, infrastructure,
Military always wins
all
out.
that stuff. So while we have our sisters and brothers living on the street, while we have the police being militarized to beat back people if they happen to say enough is enough.
Right, and that's what they
We're
do. That's
pouring
what they're
money
there for.
into the pockets of the military-industrial complex, the drug complex, the big pharma, the insurance, all of them. And they're getting fat and rich, and they don't give a shit anymore, and they're just breaking it off in our face.
So the other day I was watching Pasta's panel where he had Jimmy Dore, Scott Ritter, that whole panel.
Yeah.
And he
Sean
asked Scott
Stone,
Ritter, he asked Scott Ritter how the military-industrial complex compares to big pharma. And he said, well, I really don't know if I can answer that. And he only answered part of the question. He's like, I don't really think I can answer that. But I can, in that they're an addictive cycle. Like the government is privatized hand in hand with this company and it just goes full circle. And then it becomes like an addictive cycle and you have to stay on it. So they just suck the money out, military industrial complex constantly sucking the money, big pharma sucking the money, research, all that, we fund all of that shit. They don't pay for any of the research at the big pharma level. And I thought, well, in the future, I could see, because it's just going to be another wing that's constantly sucking and siphoning.
But they passed a bill to freeze the copay of insulin at $35.
Oh, I know. I'm supposed
the
to be so proud
copay.
about that.
What about the people who
copay,
don't even have insurance? That's the thing. And I could be wrong here, but I don't know. It's just, this is nuts. Anyway, we are transitioning the money from the people who can't afford it to the wealthy. Every day, whether it's
every day.
Musk
It's just
or
like a
Bezos
siphon in my
or
head.
the
I just see a
military.
vacuum.
It's crazy, and we're here. We are preaching to the choir Saturday night. Let me get over to the super raise here. Anna Maris got to show up to my brother-in-law's birthday party. Just know I love you. We love you too, Anna Maris. Can't wait to pay for gas and rubles? ? And Ronnie Graham, Ursula von der Leyen is after your underwear. She wants a cool wash, a cool rinse, and a short spin. Thank you, Ronnie. That was very informative.
I'm just happy if somebody else wants to do my laundry. So
have at it. I hear you. I'm definitely there with you. A dingo's over there.
Dingo. Welcome.
Dingo. Hey, dingo.
Okay, let's get into some of the funny stuff. I think we got through all the heavy stuff.
I think we did too. So you guys,
Sorry,
can,
Sorry.
You guys can get your popcorn and pizza and whatever now. So whatever unhealthy food you're gonna eat. We got another Boomer Blast here, and this is one that I had to redo today, so it might be a little rough, but I hope you enjoy it. We sure did.
Raise your right hand.
So this idea is a bunch of malarkey.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Huh? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Are you trying to give me the double talk?
And I did, Jay. And back in those days, you sure how things have changed?
He's asking you if you swear. No, but I know all the words. He's asking you if you'll swear to tell the truth. Truth is stranger than fiction. Judgy Wudgy. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Certainly. What have I got to lose? Sit down. Sit down. I'm a victim of circumstance. Who you hit? Be quiet. Well, it was like this, my honor. Your honor, not my honor. Why? Don't you like him? Allow the witness to proceed. The court understands him. Thanks, Cordy. You're a pal. And a hoofer by the name of Buck Wing was getting ready to shake his tootsies. Talk so jury can understand. Is everybody dumb? Say, Judgy, if you let me, my partner, and Gailey kind of act it out for you, we'll show you just what happened. Gentlemen, you must control your killing instincts. Proceed with the testimony, please. Proceed.
Eric the Red says that's the most sense I've heard from Biden in a while.
Right. I see you gave Hillary alopecia.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should be more sensitive to Hillary.
Be more sensitive, please. You might get punched or slapped.
Yeah,
but
after all, she's only been the reason why so many millions of people
Bill
have
might
died.
slap you.
Yeah, I know. Those are the three real stooges in my, and they're not stooges at all.
No, I agree. Yeah.
They are totally motivated, and I'm not going to say it, but I have no use for Martha's Vineyard or the Hamptons, and I'm sorry I'm being that way, but all those people kind of congregate in those areas. So
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know it. I know you know what I'm saying. We have a special edition of Hollyweird tonight, and I just want to back up because I am supporting our critic, the critical drinker, on what he has been saying or what he said recently about Hollyweird. That includes the Will Smith and all the rest of them at Hollyweird that I have absolutely no use for. So this is an extended clip, but we hope you can appreciate it. And this is what I do as a supercut. This is a supercut. This was a little difficult. It was 10 minutes, and I cut it in half. But I think you'll enjoy it. If not, let me know. And here we go. Is this the end of the movie star? I'm saying yes. What do you say, Chanda?
Yes, I think they're done.
I think they're done too.
It might be hard to believe now, but there was a time when movie stars were practically venerated as fucking gods amongst men, when people genuinely looked up to and respected them as the living embodiments of the American dream. Glamorous, refined and larger than life, but kind of remote and untouchable, like they existed in some other world that was separate from our own, something inspirational for the common man to aspire to, but never quite to reach. Now they've become kind of a sad, dated, unfunny joke without a punchline, fuel for 1,000 memes on the internet, mocked and belittled for their clumsy attempts to preach and pander and curry favour with the very people they look down on with such contempt, their flaws and shortcomings and insecurities increasingly exposed for the world to see. Whether it's fucking clowns like Seth Rogen pretending to be articulate, well-informed political activists and losing his mind anytime someone points out how ludicrous and out of touch he is, or Madonna sitting in her bath of milk and rose petals trying to explain how she's no different from a minimum wage factory worker who has to make the daily choice between heating their home or having Fandinov, or Gal Gadot leading a bunch of idiots in an off-key rendition of Imagine at a time when most people were questioning whether they'd even have a home to, or Will Smith losing his mind because he can't take a fucking joke. I could probably go on for days about this, reeling off examples of celebrities embarrassing themselves in front of millions of people, and that's not even counting the really dark and sinister stuff lurking out there. But the point is, the whole cult of celebrity that used to be such a big, powerful part of our culture really feels like it's dying on its arse these days. And to be honest, it was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen sooner or later. The world we live in is changing, and so is the way we see the rich and famous. But if I had to describe the instrument of their downfall in 2 words, they would have to be social media. See, back in the 90s and even the 2000s, celebrities were a lot less accessible than they are today, and generally the only time you heard from them was in carefully scripted interviews with magazines, friendly journalists, and talk show appearances where they were contractually protected from difficult or uncomfortable questions. I mean, the point is, there was a kind of protective wall between them and the public, so that you never really knew the inner workings of their minds. Thank fuck. You had no clue what they got up to on a daily basis, or the mundane stuff that went on behind closed doors. You didn't know what their opinions were on current political and social events, and you generally didn't see them go off scripts. But then an innocuous little app like Twitter came along, and suddenly they had the ability to interact directly with their fans from the comfort of their own homes. They could put out unscripted, unrehearsed, unfiltered opinions and enjoy that sweet dopamine hit as thousands of likes and retweets came pouring in. Holy shit, they thought to themselves as they sipped their soy lattes. I can just sit here on my phone and bask in the glow of my own fame, while my legions of fans shower my every word with praise and adoration. No more boring press junkets, scripted interviews, and tedious questions for me. Now I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. And like a moth to a flame, the allure of instant gratification, constant attention, and on-demand ego-stroking was just too strong for most of them to resist. And before you knew it, these people were given their opinions on fucking everything from social issues to foreign policy to the economy, in a never-ending quest to hog the public's attention and bag themselves more hollow praise. They were sharing pictures of their homes, their meals, their fucking dogs. They were posing without stylists and makeup in an effort to look relatable. Lovely stuff indeed. The only problem is that, well, most of these people are complete fucking idiots. They're hollow, narcissistic, poorly educated, privileged, disconnected, impulsive, weak-minded, ignorant, and completely unqualified to give their opinions on most of the things they speak so loudly about. They've made their careers out of saying words written by other people. They've spent years surrounded by well-paid yes men that never challenge their opinions or call them out on their bullshit. So because of that, most of them have never had to be particularly smart or well-informed. People just kind of go along with what they say, and it's created the false impression that what they say must in fact be correct. They've been safely protected within the Hollywood echo chamber, so that when they decide to share their opinions with the rest of the world, it never really crosses their minds that they might be completely fucking stupid. And I guess that's kind of my point here. The fact that almost anyone can find a degree of fame and success now has kind of diluted the talent pool and made traditional celebrities a bit less special. And I guess the natural result of that is that they start to feel threatened, and their clumsy attempts to appeal to that same desire for authenticity only exposes how fake and shallow they really are. In fact, fuck what I've got to say, Kurt Russell expressed it better than I ever could, so I'll leave you with his wise words instead. There's no reason entertainers can't learn just as much as anybody else about a subject, whatever it is. But I think what's sad about it is that they lose their status as a court jester. And I'm a court jester. That's what I was born to do. And you know what, Kurt? You're really fucking good at it. It's a shame more people weren't like you.
Hey.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Go away now.
I think
Perfect.
he
Critical
nailed it.
drinker nails it. Totally nails it. And absolutely, I think that megastars like we grew up with in, you know, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s is a thing of the past because they're studio made. You know, they still answer to a studio for everything they say and they do. And it's different now with these megastars that are coming up on social media. You know?
Absolutely. And again, his points in there, a lot of them are poorly educated. I mean, think about it, Chanda. When they get into the business, a lot of them, and I know our brother Pat's been involved with it, and so many others I can't even mention. But they go in there, what are they, waiters, waitresses? They had to work their ass up to the top. So when did they have time to be really into a good education or all this other stuff? They were.
Well, some of them did. I mean, I'm not going to stereotype.
I'm
Definitely
not.
Some went to you know, Juilliard and went to good acting. You know.
The
schools.
point I'm making.
The point is the studio. They started out little. They all started out little, and then the studio got a hold of them and created them.
They're Insta stars.
Their studio created.
And the analogy I wanted to make is it's the same thing with politicians.
Yes.
Okay. They get in that groove. They get the stardom, and something happens to their brain. So again, I think he nails it there, and we've got to stop the celebrity.
Well, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's that simple.
Yeah, they won't. And so they're going to do what this.
Will Smith bit the hand that feeds him, or maybe he didn't.
Or maybe he didn't.
Depends
but-
on what narrative you're
Oh,
believing
the
right
Academy's going to take away my Oscar. I'm so sorry. Whatever. So anyway, that was a good report from the Critical Drinker.
I love this meme.
This is a great meme.
This is a great meme. We are changed. I got to thank Luke Wadowski for this one. But yeah, Ticketmaster Be Like, concert ticket $40, venue fee $21.32, access fee $18.32, paperless transmission fee $12.03, fee $8.84, fee FIFO fund $3.42, because we can fee $201, might as well fee $189. What the fuck you gonna do? Not go? Fee $1.38, and another $1 won't hurt nobody. Fee $1.
That's
the way it is when you buy a ticket nowadays to go see one of these mega stars.
Yeah.
And who can afford that when you are the working poor? And then you got to show your Vax passport, which I had a story to back this up about Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, but I moved it to Tuesday night. So check in Tuesday night. We'll follow up to that.
Yeah, check in Tuesday night. Now, is this your JP? This is your JP, right?
Yeah, this just dropped today.
Okay.
This is a new app.
Hi, liberals.
I'm sorry.
Well, after routinely and ragefully accusing people of being conspiracy theorists about so many things for the past couple years, it turns out you've been wrong a lot. It turns out that people who think for themselves tend to know what's going on in the world 6 months to a year before you figure it out. And because you've been less than graceful about it all, you have a lot to apologize for.
Well, what are you talking about, JP?
Well, for example, do you remember having conversations with people at the beginning of the pandemic who knew the authoritarians were going to try to institute jab mandates?
Oh, really? They're going to usher in vaccine passports? That is misinformation, and I've never seen a bigger conspiracy theorist than you. What'd you do, watch Plandemic? You are such an idiot, and you obviously just want people to die. So I hope you die.
Yeah, that was you. And people haven't forgotten about it. And the problem isn't that you've been wrong. That's a very human thing to do. The problem is how nasty and self-righteous you've been to other people about the things that you've been wrong about. Accordingly, you owe a lot of people an apology, don't you? But I know a little snag you run into is you don't have enough integrity to offer an apology, do you? What a predicament. But now the predicament's over, because today we're announcing the I'm a Sorry Liberal app. It does all the apologizing for you. Watch. Hi. You know all those things I said about vaccine passports? And also how I said you're a racist, climate change denying, Nazi transphobic? I'm sorry. You were right, and I was wrong. With the I'm a Sorry Liberal app, just select which aspect of the narrative you need to apologize for being wrong about, and hit play. Have you disowned family members who were rooted in reality about the shot while you fell for the propaganda?
You think you can still catch and spread the virus after getting the shot? You are nothing but a... And I want you out of my life forever!
Now watch how the relationship gets repaired using the I'm a Sorry Liberal app. I'm sorry. It turns out I was wrong. It's now obvious to me that you can still catch and spread the virus after getting the shot. I couldn't have been more wrong. I was under the spell of mass formation psychosis. I still am, but I hope you accept my apology. Now, normally, when people lack the strength of character to apologize when they're wrong, they miss out on all the benefits that come with apologizing. But the I'm a Sorry Liberal app lets you get all the benefits of an apology while having none of the strength of character. How many people did you yell at for being in tune with a lab leak before you were? I'm sorry. It came from a lab. It's that simple and easy. With the I'm a Sorry Liberal app, instead of being doomed to a life of people thinking you're a self-righteous liberal asshole who won't apologize, now they'll think you're a self-righteous liberal asshole who will apologize.
That's great. You have to go over and watch the other half of it because
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
JP, that's another one I like of his. So anyway, you brought this, and I think I still have one of those.
Yeah, very few people know this, but this tiny pocket in your jeans is for your salary.
God, I've had jobs like that too. That's really
All
the shit.
jobs are like that right
Yeah,
now.
oh my God, most jobs are like that right now. It's crazy.
Right.
We
So
got,
now you know.
Yeah, what the hell? You brought up Brother Richie here? What's going on?
I didn't leave myself a note. But Richie's always great. So let's just pull the trigger and see what Richie Medhurst has to say.
All right.
And just one last thing that I want to add. You know how you keep hearing that, oh, Russia is being shunned and isolated by the international community. Oh, really? Let me show you a picture of isolated Russia. So here are the ambassadors of the BRICS. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa in Moscow meeting with the foreign minister Lavrov. So you're telling me that some the rising economies on this planet, a country like India with a population of over 1 billion people, China, the same thing, both of them nuclear powers, are still trading with Russia, and still they still have regular diplomatic ties with Russia. And South Africa, the same thing. Now, of course, Brazil actually condemned Russia at the UN, but all these others didn't. The other BRICS didn't, right? So India, China, South Africa. They're all meeting Lavrov in Moscow just yesterday. Oh yeah, Russia looks very isolated. I mean, this is really the arrogance, the Western arrogance, because they tell you the international community condemns Russia. But for them, when they say international community, they really just mean the United States, Canada, Western Europe, and Australia and New Zealand. That's it. It's the Five Eyes, basically, you know? But I'm sorry to tell you, that's not the international community. That's perhaps the West, or so we say the global North. Again, as I told you, China, Pakistan, India, Iran, all of these countries, I mean, we're talking about 40% of the planet's population. You're just going to act like they don't exist? This is arrogance. This is arrogance. And again, it shows you the conditioning in the media, how they trick you into believing something that is not true. Regardless what you think of Russia, regardless what you think of what's happening in Ukraine, this is just an objective fact that the planet is not just the West. You have other nuclear powers, economic powers like the BRICS, and they are not shunning Russia. And Russia is not isolated, at least in regards to their ties with these countries. That's a fact.
I think people are going to really wake up to that fact one of these days.
Do they look isolated? Do they look, yeah.
Not at all.
Wake up.
Not at all. I think this is a case of the rest of the world is just about done with the imperialist bullshit that the United States.
This is the fall of the empire, and we're just going full steam ahead. Like we're plowing into that iceberg. This is what Rome did. Overextend yourself into wars, ignore your infrastructure problems and the starving people, and then you've got the technocrats at the very top controlling everything.
Yeah, no, and people are going, oh, we've heard this before. Well, you better listen real good, because this is the last time you're going to hear it before it becomes a reality. So
we're finally seeing the change. We talked about this for so many of us that have been on the ground fighting since even Occupy for the last 10, 12 years. It went full steam. I mean, I didn't envision how we would get here. We knew we would get here, but I couldn't envision what that looked like even as long ago as 2016. But now I can wrap my brain around, okay, I can see how the whole thing could fall apart now.
Yeah. It's getting to that point, and I'm not only nervous, but I'm quite frightened, not necessarily right away for myself, but for the people out there on the street,
I'm frightened for the future. I got my granddaughter here. It's spring break, and I am heartbroken for the shit show we are handing our kids.
Well, a lot of us, well, not me, because it was back in 91, have opted not to have children because we...
Right now,
I
I think we're in a baby boom just because of COVID. I see a lot of birth announcements on a lot of my friends.
Scary.
But I think it's a minor when it comes to statistics, it's not a huge enough boom that's going to raise our population a massive
Well, yeah,
amount.
and on the other hand,
Because so many are choosing not to.
I'm seeing a lot of. I just had recently a friend I used to work with. His wife died. She was only 52.
I know.
what's
Oh
going
my
on,
God.
man?
My brain's just, I can't believe the amount of people who were at not an old age, a young age, that I didn't even think that they just drop. And
Yeah.
then that's just it. They're just gone. They go in their sleep. They drop.
Yeah.
And I've never been around that. And that since the last 2 years, just like deaths all around.
And
Yeah.
is that a product of COVID too, as far as being home and seeing all this shit, and not noticing before?
Well, there's
I don't,
just so much. They're just piling it all on us. All the poisons, our poisoned water, our poisoned food,
Air,
our
poisoned Fruit
our
Loops.
health care,
Yeah, I know.
our pharmaceutical,
our shitty health
yeah.
care in this country, our
Shitty healthcare.
overextended hedge fund run
our heart
hospitals.
having to work freaking,
Yeah.
50, 60-hour work weeks
Oh,
for
yeah.
our whole entire life. I know you know this because we talk about this all the time. I did, 37 years now. I've been busting my ass in the system, and I still got like fucking 25 to go. And for what? I'll never have anything to show for it. I'll never have the American dream. I'll never own a
No.
home. I'll never
There's-
own a brand
the
new
American
car.
dream is only for
I
the
will
privileged.
always, yeah, exactly. I mean, and anymore, the line between the privileged and the non-privileged is just there. It's not there anymore.
It's gone. It's
Yeah.
absolutely gone. Anyway, Parker Brothers and Joe Biden teamed up. Is it Parker Brothers or Milton Bradley? Who's got Mr. President Potato Head playset?
I don't know, but I love the picture in the background.
Each set includes a Mr. Potato Brain 128 megabyte USB drive. Just plug in a President B or PB into the skull port, and you'll hear the President of the United States read it all right back to you. Isn't that handy? That's I think
What
that
is that coming out of his head?
geez, I think it's a peanut.
That's what I thought.
It's got to be a peanut.
Pretty
drive.
sure it's a peanut.
Yeah, this
it's
is
a
pretty.
peanut.
This is pretty tame. I've got to say. This you brought this one this week, and I thought it was quite good. Do you know the name of this?
I think that she is brilliant. Her name is Rachel Maria, and you can follow her on YouTube. She has 78.7K subs. So
Wow.
a lot of people, but she does all of the Democrats. She does Psaki. She does Pelosi. You have to check her out in these little short TikToks.
Okay, let's check her out. If I can get her to go.
Go.
I just want to dig into that a little bit more on the COVID relief.
This is your third time.
My third time, what, ask about COVID relief?
Yeah.
Well, it's substantive. You like substantive questions, so I just want to make sure
While people are dying in Ukraine and all of that,
people are dying from COVID too. Do you plan to offset it? How do you?
Yeah, we have to offset it.
You do have to offset
We
it.
have to offset it, and that's what we'll have to go to. And I would hope that the sensitivities of those to any offset would be the equity would be weighed as to what we
We're good,
need to do
time-wise.
to save lives and livelihood and prevent the creation of a new variant. Yeah, it would be offset.
So you're disappointed. I mean,
Yeah, that
what
is,
is your
we don't have
message?
it right now. That we don't have it right now. We have everything else right now that we don't have it right now.
Remember, we don't have Hollywood really.
Over that.
Oh, we do have a
I've
little one.
communicated
Oh, no.
my message to them.
Same one.
Love the eyebrows. Love the eyebrows. That was
There's
great.
so many good ones. You could sit there for 2 hours laughing.
Well,
She's great.
We'll bring them for sure.
Rachel Maria.
We'll bring them. This was a last minute edition. We're going to run this, and this is from Eat, Drink, Travel, I think is the name of it. Eat, Travel, Drink, something like that. But
Drink.
it was humorous, and they really captured the spirit of Jen Psaki, soon to be the new Rachel Maddow.
Yes, oh God, who would watch that crap?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What?
Enrique?
I'm like busy watching TV.
Oh, Richard! I know you're going to ask a really nice question.
Well, it's an important question, I think.
Does LV help you cheat on Denitra with other women? You said no, the lie detector test determined? That was a lie.
I can tell you from working for President Biden for 7 years that only President Biden decides what President Biden
Nailed
is
it.
going to say.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said.
Only President Biden decides what President Biden is going to say.
Here's his pocket card. Here's what it said. Tough Putin Q&A talking points.
What am I doing here?
This man needs a retirement home and a warm bowl of soup, not access to the nuclear codes.
Whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not.
Dumbass.
Why is nobody saying this bloke may have some deep-seated medical issues? What in God's name is Joe Biden trying to say?
Know the little expression, time is money. As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you better make other plans.
Let's go over what he just said there. Let's just not ignore that. Let's go over it. As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you better make other plans. I'm sorry.
And Ricky, I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you soon. And congratulations and job well done.
Shit.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was great. That I love
Is that the commentator from Sky News Australia?
I don't know who it is. I thought originally it was Neera Tanden, but it wasn't.
I did too for a second. I was like, is that Neera?
Yeah.
But Neera wouldn't be saying that.
No, she'd be
somebody brainwashed Neera.
She'd have her nose in his ass. So anyway, what do we got here? You brought this?
Well, did you see this week? The FEC has fined the Clinton campaign and the DNC for violating campaign finance law and lying about the Steele dossier. Clinton's camp hid payments for the Steele dossier by funneling it via their law firm, Perkins Cole, and claiming it was paying for legal costs, not opposition research. So, yeah, they took a slap on the hand.
Oh, my God. So they're not going to. It's going to be another setup, right?
It doesn't matter if she takes a slap on the hand from the FEC, which that she's had control of, I'm sure, since she had her State Department.
Well,
and none of the truth ever comes out about what happened in 2016. There was so many different ways that they tinkered with 2016 and 2020. But until we go back and we actually look at the facts of what happened, this is whatever. This is just a slap on the hand, I believe, and sweep it under the rug.
Well, this is what we're faced with these days. And this is where I'm going to throw some shade at Bernie again. He was part of this whole thing. Had he started
everything after August of 2016, I agree.
Yeah, had he started calling out the bullshit from then on,
which he never did. We wanted him to start calling out the bullshit in February of 2016 when the Clinton campaign came in and breached all of our data and then screamed at the fucking press that we were the ones that breached their data inside the frickin' Vote Blue system. And it was like, no, that's not how that frickin' worked. And so, they immediately came out lying from the get-go. And from there, it just everything that snowballed. Every month, there was some dirty dealings with the damn DNC being controlled by Hillary. And you could see it and you could feel it from the inside of the party. As a Bernie Sanders delegate inside the party in 2016, you knew that the chapters we're fucking with you at every state. We watched every state, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, California. They just went down the row, and yeah, they didn't see us coming. So we did make a lot of headway. But like I said, none of this matters till we start really talking about the truth. And that means talking about Julian Assange, which we will talk about in a little while.
And election integrity.
And election integrity. Absolutely. So
what do you got here? You got Mikey Pence.
That means coming into this next two elections is a nightmare, right? We've got all these factors against us, two tinkered with elections, in a frickin' row. We have all these nightmare candidates. We had nothing but nightmare candidates the last time frickin' around. And Mike Pence has decided to drop his platform. So that hint, he is going to take on the big guy.
Mikey Pence. Here we go.
Mikey Pence.
Well, boards of election are starting to prepare for this year's midterm elections, but we're already starting to hear rumors of who will be running in 2024.
And it's looking like former Vice President Mike Pence may be laying the groundwork for a campaign. Yesterday, Pence unveiled his freedom agenda. It includes policy ideas that are strongly linked with Republican economic mainstays like tax cuts and regulatory rollbacks. In a press release, Pence said the agenda will, quote, keep America from further decline and decay. The plan also calls for protection of religious freedom and bringing an end to federal funding for abortion.
It's that goddamn simple. It's that goddamn simple. He can just throw that out there and it'll be all the way, you know.
He's going to sweep up that conservative vote, and those ones that were on the cusp about voting for Trump before, you know, like, oh, well, we didn't have a good candidate, so I got behind Trump, so Pence was this guy, but now they're going to pivot to Pence, you know. This is so scary coming into it. And of course, the rumblings we're hearing about Hillary getting dusted off and pulled back out.
Well, what was the old phrase they used to use? Guns, God, and what was the other? Greed, or what the hell was
Guns,
it?
God, and glory, right?
Guns, God, and glory, and that's what Pence is going to run on. I got to
Right.
tell you. And
yeah, good old-fashioned conservative America.
Yeah, you're going to have what's Teddy? What's this with Teddy Cruz? Is he
Okay, you know I can't stand Ted Cruz, right?
Neither
We've
can I.
made fun of Ted Cruz for years, but this, I can't argue with what he's saying in this interview.
Policies they have are a disaster, and amazingly their foreign policy is even worse than their domestic and economic policy. And so right now Democrats are panicking. I expect what you just played from Nancy Pelosi, it's going to get worse between now and election
Don't you sense that that's what's going on there? She signaled that in that soundbite on that whatever that was podcast. They're a threat to democracy. If something is a threat to democracy, you cannot accept it as a result.
They know they're going to lose. And Nancy Pelosi's not going to go quietly. She's going to scream. She's already preparing to scream the election was stolen. And by the way, what she means by stolen is people showed up to vote against Democrats. That's what stealing the election is. Remember, Democrats don't believe in democracy. You and I both clerked at the Supreme Court. We've seen what they want justices to do. They want 9 unelected lawyers to mandate every policy outcome in the country. You know, on a question of life. In the next couple of months, the Supreme Court may well overturn Roe versus Wade, sending the question of abortion back to the states. The Democrats don't want the voters to have that right. They want to say, you have no right to make decisions like that. It's 5 lawyers in robes in Washington. They don't believe in democracy. And if you look, they know their ideas are unpopular. It's why they hide from what they believe. How many Democrats talk about gun control? How many Democrats talk about silencing free speech or taking away your religious liberty? They pretend they don't believe it, and then they try to ram that agenda through.
The numbers.
You know what? Yeah, yes and no. He's full of shit, though.
He's always full of shit. He is always full of shit. But the Dems have pushed the moderate, everyday people to a point where they're gonna fall for that guns gut.
Oh, they're going to get it back. The Dems have pushed it over the cliff. They're going to get slaughtered.
Either way, we're
And we're going to get shit garbage from the other side of the aisle now. It's the duopoly. Okay, here's the hot potato, Republicans. That's what they're going to do.
Yep.
Once again.
we can't get anything done. Republicans are blocking it.
No, they're blocking it. Vote for us. Vote for us. Oh, you should have voted for us. Vote blue no matter who, even though our policies suck.
Right. And the Republicans are planning, and he says, oh, they'll be overturning Roe versus Wade because they're planning on getting in there. And that's their #1 fucking agenda. And that's what Pence is for, because they've been after that, pushing it, throwing it to the states and letting the states decide, like they've done with marijuana forever now.
Are they that crazy to mess with Roe versus Wade when?
Yes, they are. And that's what a lot of Trump's juggling of the Supreme Court was about, too, you know, trying to offset that vote to where they can do that. I think that's what it always does come down to.
Well, they're out of their minds. They're all out of their minds. And again.
Well, listen, you remember that report I brought about how Governor Gavin Newsom was proposing like a freaking this millions and millions of dollar plan to make it a sanctuary state for abortion. So that way you could literally, they would fly you into the state They would pay to put you up until you got your procedure, and then they would fly you back home, all on the state of California. So they're preparing, the legislators are preparing for it to be kicked down to the state level, from what I can see. And
Well, and that could very well happen. I would imagine it would. You got to go to New York or California or Washington.
You're good. Yeah, no
You're
more.
gonna have to go
Texas,
East
no
Coast
more
or West
in-
Coast to
Right.
get help with your situation. And that does not the way they're talking and the way you parsed it, they will fly anyone that is of not the means to be able to do that. So they'll fund the clinic and they'll have transportation for anybody that needs an abortion.
That's the way it was worded when I saw the report I read a couple months ago.
All right, we got Julian Assange up now, right?
Julian, so yeah, the wedding was last week for him and Stella, and a lot of good reports came out. I gotta say, I didn't bring it because I didn't want to take copyright strike, but
Don't worry, we're gonna have plenty tonight.
Tara over at 60 Minutes Australia spent the day or a couple days with Stella, and 60 Minutes Australia did a very, very good in-depth coverage of it. It was a tearjerker. I mean, I cried a couple times, so I was just like, I was glad to see Australia step up and do that.
And you're saying that a 60 Minutes, which is Viacom, did a decent story on Julian Assange?
It's Tara Brown, I want to say.
What the hell? What's going on over there?
I know. I was kind of like, well, this is kind of okay. Well, good. I'm glad to see Australia stepping up and at least somebody covering.
Yeah, I'm cautious.
And of course, Amy Goodman, she had an interview with Chris Hedges because Chris Hedges was there, right?
Yeah. Yes, they were.
I don't really care for Dystopia now, Amy, and where she's been, but
Well, she doesn't want to get herself soiled before she retires. So.
Yeah, I agree.
The mother of their two children. Chris Hedges, if you can talk about what Julian Assange faces right now, does he have any final appeal, and why you believe he has been held for as long as he has before the Belmarsh prison, of course, taken refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy, where we interviewed him a number of times in London. He had been granted political asylum.
Well, there's been a long, let me just throw out that because UC Global, the Spanish security firm in the embassy, filmed all of Julian's meetings with his attorneys, revoking or destroying the capacity for attorney-client privilege, the case shouldn't even be in court. This has been a kind of judicial farce. Julian did not commit a crime. In fact, the people who did commit the crimes, which he exposed, have never been charged. He ripped back the veil in a way that no other publisher has done in our lifetime on the inner workings of power, whether it was the Podesta emails or Vault 7, which exposed the ability of the CIA to hack everything, our smartphones, our televisions, even our cars, or the Iraqi war logs, which you mentioned, and the ruling elites are determined to destroy him. So Stella mentioned his precarious condition. Well, it's quite dire. We know. I was in London covering the court trials, or they're not trials, actually, the hearings about the extradition, and was observed pacing his cell frantically, banging his head against the wall, hitting himself in the face, hallucinating, calling the Samaritan hotline, because in his words, he thought about committing suicide hundreds of times a day. He has suffered a stroke. He's on antidepressants. They haul him off to the medical wing in isolation. He's crumbling. Physically and psychologically, and I think that's the point. He can go back now if, as expected, the Home Secretary rules in favor of the extradition. He can go back to the lower court, which blocked his extradition based on his potential for being a suicide risk and the harsh conditions in American prisons. He can challenge the other points. This is a legal dance that I suppose could last up to a year. Meanwhile, he is, of course, deteriorating.
I hold the United States government and any other
Absolutely.
government responsible for this travesty, this murder of this
It's torture.
torture
They're
of this guy. We
torturing
can't. What do we expect any less from the United States of torture? I will never forgive my government. I'm not proud of the United States, what they have done in the name of the people of the country, and frankly, I hope that someday some of these assholes get what they got coming as far as jail time and prosecution.
Evil always wins.
Yeah, I know.
Evil always wins, and I'm so scared. I'm scared that he's not gonna be able, when if he ever got out, which I think the opportunity he had to get out has just been squashed with this bullshit they're doing with this. Oh, America wrote a letter and said, we won't torture him. We won't put him anywhere bad. So take our word for it, even though we've said that in the past to other people and gone back on our word. I mean, the UK, they're just hypocrites. Just like anybody else,
we're the United States of liars and thieves. So
Yeah.
that's just the way it is.
They're just our bitch. And
Yeah.
that's the way I see all these kiss-ass countries that bow down to anything we want when, they morally have an obligation to stand up against us.
Absolutely. This one, you probably wonder what this one is, or maybe you don't.
I see Bernie.
Steve, yeah, this is I'm gonna throw a little shade at Bernie here, and he deserves every bit. Don't be apologizing for anything about Bernie anymore. He's done.
I know.
Stephen Donziger, he was the one that Chevron had chained
Right.
up at his house for like 700
I
days.
think he got out just the other day.
Yeah,
didn't
he
right?
did. He did. And again, I'm pissed off at him for his views on
That was criminal.
on the jab,
Criminal.
but he suffered through it. So we're not going to always agree on everything, guys, but where we do agree, let's find strength together in solidarity on that. Breaking: Washington Post reports momentum growing to block Chevron lawyer Reardon from lifetime judgeship. 6 senators wavering as 200 environmental groups urge her nomination to be killed. Reardon helped Chevron pollute the Amazon and jail me. Unfit. Yeah, Stephen, absolutely. And I got to tell you something. What about this is wrong in such an easy way? Why are they fucking wavering? That should be no doubt. They should be speaking out instead of their politically posturing. Oh, which donors am I going to lose, or which kind of shit am I going to get? This is
Gotta live to fight another day.
These politicians, Elizabeth Warren, Jeff Merkley, Edward J. Markey, Bernie Sanders, John Ossoff. Well, he's not. He's garbage anyway. Chris Van Hollen. They are all failures. Not to themselves because they're making the money, but they are failures as representing the people. That includes you, Bernie, 100%. I'm so done with you, and I'm sorry, Bernie fans out there, but he has betrayed you for a pocket full of mumbles, such your promises. That's it. So there shouldn't be any doubt. You're putting in a corporate lawyer for a judgeship that's permanent, for a lifetime judge. Are you kidding me? Another one? So how many times? Yeah, how many times do we have to stab ourselves in the chest with this kind of shit? So sorry, I'm a little upset about this.
No, it never ends.
Yeah,
it
never
never
ends.
Yes, lifetime appointment. Here, go.
What's it going to take, Chanda, to get everybody to finally get off their ass? It's never going to happen, is it?
Well, I think it will. And we'll talk about that in the next couple of reports.
All right, we got to.
Until then, here's a United spot because everybody loves the United spot.
Okay, maybe that'll calm me down. I'm sorry.
Calm down.
I'm getting frosty.
Hey, Joe! What do you want, Reagan? These gas prices are ridiculous. Well, it's not my fault. I don't control gas prices. You can't control the price of gas? No! I keep trying to tell everybody it's not my job. So you have no control? Nope. None? None. And there's nothing you can do about it? Nope. Are you sure? Yep, yeah, I'm sure. But don't you control the drilling? I control that. And don't you control the shipping? Yep, I control that too. And the storing, refining, and the buying? Yep, to all three of those. And don't you control the selling, trading, and taxing of oil? Yep, I control all of it. And you still say gas prices aren't your fault? Nope. How come? Cause, you know what? Let me ask Obama. 81 million votes, huh, Joe? Yeah, that's right. 81 million. Let's go, Brandon.
Don't listen to him, Joe.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, those aren't the reasons, but
No, I know. It's
but
just so
anyway,
funny.
that's yeah. Linda made us a mutual aid for this week, and she's getting really good with those as usual. With regard to food shortages, it's going to be real. We're all we've
Gonna be an
got.
empty oat bag.
Yeah, empty oat bag. Empty oat bag. Thank you, Linda. And you brought a Rogan. What's going on with Rogan?
I brought a homeless report. I told you I'd bring a homeless report. And Rogan did a great interview. And this interview is very telling the problem in this country. And that picture behind you is a Hooverville from 1937 in downtown Seattle on First Avenue South.
Is that what it's going to take to get to that point?
That we're already at that point. It's just it looks different now because it's tents and it's up on Pioneer Square and it's down, that's where the viaduct ended up being.
You know what? I think it's probably more so. I
think it's more so too, absolutely.
If you use the matrix from 39 versus the matrix of 2022, it's just by pure volume, it's got to be more.
Right.
All right, let's have the Joe Rogan here go.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Let's break down how that works. Okay. So, first of all, what are the numbers? What's the number of homeless people in Los Angeles currently? Because Los Angeles is the big problem. If you'll be the governor, you're going to have to deal with, obviously, San Francisco is the other big problem. San Diego, much less so. Right?
I'll tell you the official numbers, but they're wrong because they're 2.5 years old, and they were probably undercounts in the year 2020. But it's in L.A. County, 60,000 homeless. In L.A. City, 44,000. All of California, 116,000 unsheltered, meaning outside in tents. 160,000 total, meaning unsheltered and in shelters.
How is it 100,000 in Los Angeles, County, and Los Angeles City, but in only another 16,000 in the rest of the state?
No, 60,000 in L.A. County.
Right, but you said 40,000 in L.A. proper.
Oh, yeah, sorry, but that's the 60,000 includes the 44,000.
Oh, okay.
And San Francisco has somewhere between, I would say, officially it has 8,000 total homeless, but I think it's much more likely to be 10 to 12,000 total homeless, of whom I would say around 6 to 8 are unsheltered. Now, during a year, at least 20 to 25,000 unsheltered homeless pass through the city. So you get a lot of
So do you consider that people without tents? Are they unsheltered?
No. The people in the tents are considered unsheltered homeless.
Oh, okay.
So these are the sheltered. The only people considered sheltered are people in official shelters.
I see.
Yeah.
So roughly speaking, you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 people in the state.
It could be that many. It's a daunting task when you consider it, particularly since the models that we have are of the 5 European cities that shut down their homeless encampments. One thing I discovered is that the Europeans called them open drug scenes. We euphemistically refer to them as homeless encampments, which makes them sound like they're making marshmallows.
Yeah, our language, our verbiage on, homelessness and addiction and the mentally ill. Oz, when you grew up, right, they had institutions. Uncle Danny was in an institution, mine was, and the people that were mentally ill, they had Social Security, they had people, protective payees, they had places to go. And then after Reagan, right,
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie.
And then Clinton showed up with his welfare reform bill and started just kicking people off and kicking people out. And from then, it's just been a downward spiral for, that community. So many. It's so bad. I mean, did you see that guy giggle when he goes, oh, yeah, it could be 200,000?
What do you...
No, and that's a bad count. If you've ever gone out and volunteered to do a count, which I've done, it's hard. They're everywhere. They're in the woods.
We don't go out anymore. We didn't a lot before. We were kind of homebodies, but even before, I would say in the late 90s and the early 2000s, there was homeless people at that point. But I would probably have a stroke if we went down the same streets now and looked at the numbers that are out there. Because
it's flooded over into rural America, because I lived rural America, and I can tell you 10 years ago, the furthest thing, you would never see a beggar on a street corner. In my ranked in the top 10 places to retire town, you know, I'm a retirement community, and now they're on every single street in our tiny little retirement community, and we are far away from a major metropolitan city. We're talking 2 hours. So
yeah, that is a little town.
if they're that far out, and they're being pushed out of the big cities, and it's putting more strain on the smaller, you know, county community resources.
And they're gearing up to push out more people. Here you go. Military law enforcement get twice as much funding as social programs in Biden's budget plan. Look at those percentages. It's non-security spending is $527.3 billion, and security spending is $1.1 trillion. Are you kidding me? What do you think they're going to do with that security spending? Buy more assault vehicles and tanks and
use it against us. I mean,
come on,
that's what they do.
It's going to be cages. It's going to be more cages, more of the modern day,
better cages.
Yeah, more of the modern day Hoovervilles. You know, that's what it's going to be. So that's what we're looking for. Sister Fiorella Isabel strikes again. The U.S. is just a giant military corporation with a movie production company division. Abso-frickin-lutely. Did she see what I was going to talk about tonight? I think she did. And once again, Jen Psaki getting a job at MSNBC. Now, it's not MSNBC fee, it's MSNBS. Further proves corporate media is not the fourth power opposition to corruption, but rather the extended arm creating propaganda for the state narrative. In essence, a public relations firm for the ruling class. Jen got a raise for doing the same job. And Uncle Warren says yet another reason to despise the MSM.
Well, you know what happened here, is she's like, I'm tired of telling you idiots what to say and what to write, and you guys effing it up, so I'm just going to do it myself. That's what I see happening.
Oh, yeah.
She can do more damage from the inside.
Oh, yeah. Hell yes, she's going to do this. And I see your feelings on this subject haven't changed. Yeah, that's pretty...
I love that wig.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, that's so 70s.
Yeah, it does. It does. I don't... What is that, a BB gun or something? And then you've refaced me. Explain that to me. Am I in your heart? Are you in my heart? Is that what that is?
I don't know. You explain this to me, because this is something that happened before I was born. Who does this type of thing? Why? It was a thing. Remember the double exposure and the wine glass?
I thought I just have a Chanda candle-like shirt in there. That is the 70s. Look at that damn tux, man. I think that was high
you're
school
rocking
prom.
the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, you make a great Harley
Feathered
Quinn
hair.
there, too. I got to say, you look great there. Is it that time? Is it getting to be that time?
It is that time.
It is that time.
Cutler.
Anything that helps the poor, por favor. And that 50 cents, anything. Mutual aid is the way it's going to have to be. I talked to Eric the Red today on the phone, and we're trying to figure out ways to get together and discuss what it's going to take. I think we firmly believe electoral politics isn't going to get it done. Now, we need to talk with Eric, and by the way, Eric's the terrific engineer over there at Sabby Sab, Sabrina Salbati. Kudos to Sabby and Eric. We have a great appreciation for engineers in my house, so you do a fantastic job over there. Thank you. But we are going to host Eric a week from Tuesday. He's going to be on Beauty and the Boomer Short Takes. We're looking forward to that one as well. This Tuesday, we're going to have Pat, the Batman fan, on, and he's going to talk about some issues that are near and dear to our heart, and they're going to piss you off, but we need to talk about it. So we're looking forward to seeing Pat on Tuesday. Right now, we have Leo is going to introduce his daddy. He's got a song for us. So here we go with Leo, and let me get daddy queued up, Steve Cutler Live. And I think he's ready to go. Thank you, Leo. Where the hell's Peaches? I haven't seen Peaches lately. What's going on? Steve Cutler Live, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Once upon a time there was an engineer. He drove a locomotive both far and near, accompanied by a monkey who would sit on a stool, watching everything the engineer would move. One day the engineer wanted a bite to eat. He left that monkey sitting on the driver's seat. The monkey pulled the throttle, locomotive jumped the gun, and did 90 miles an hour down the main line run. Big locomotive right on time. Big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99. Left the engineer with a worried mind. Well, the engineer, he called up the dispatcher on the phone to tell him all about his locomotive was gone. To get on the wire, switch operator to right. He said that monkey's got the main line sewed up tight. Switch operator got the message in time. Said there's a northbound limit on that same main line. Open up the switch, I'm gonna let him through the hole. The monkey's got the locomotive under control. Big locomotive right on time. Big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99. Left the engineer with a worried mind. Oh, play that worry guitar solo, Johnny. Well, the monkey thought about the engineer blowing his top. Thought all about it was gonna stop. Well, get out of here, you little son of a gun. I'll never put you on a main line run. Big locomotive right on time. Big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99. Left the engineer with a worried mind. Left the engineer with a worried mind. Left the engineer with a worried. Make a monkey noise right here with a worried mind.
Oh, I love that. That was so
was
good,
super
Steve.
cute.
Where was that from? Was that, I noticed your beard was a little shorter back there. So, Monkey and the Engineer. I love it. Fantastic. We're going to head over. I got a Indie Media, Independent Left. Shout out to Independent Left Media. Hey, Indy, what's going on? Big Mad Crab is also down for collaboration and engineering. Love it.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Very
Love
good.
it. That's what we like to do at Roar Media is network and help each other, help everybody else. So
What we're about.
definitely let's get that network together. We have Stoner Corner.
Stoner Corner. So it looks like you're cleaning a pipe. Would you like help? Aw, Paperclip, you're always such a help. And let's see. Weed doesn't ask me stupid fucking questions in the morning before I like weed. Okay.
Be
Weed
more
doesn't
like weed.
ask me stupid fucking questions in the morning. Be more like weed. Yeah, that one's cute. Stoners who wake and bake versus stoners who smoke wait to smoke till the end of the day. Yeah, this one.
That's a
cracks
great
me
meme.
up.
Can we keep
Is
that?
that a great meme? Yeah,
Let's keep that
meme.
one. Yeah.
And then, in fact, weed tastes better when it's grown by people who did it before it was legal. And speaking of legal, federal legal weed bill passed the House today, sponsored by Almost's favorite Brenda Lee and a bunch of others.
Ugh.
And so, yes, it's cleared the House. see what the Senate does with it. There's a lot of pressure because all of these marijuana stores are being robbed from coast to coast, like all the states that have legalized, because there's so much cash on site of these places because they're not FDIC insured and the banks will not deal with them. They have to buy their way into a bank, basically. So you never know. You might see something passing at the federal level in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Who knows what the hell they're going to have to sedate us somehow. So just give us the goddamn weed, you assholes. I mean, that would be good.
Right. That's what keeps me going.
Pat's got
Pat, you showed up last minute. Got in under the wire.
Yeah, he did. Actually, he got it to me about a half hour ago, but he wanted me to read this. I'd be surprised if any of you have ever heard of this song, but it's a personal favorite of mine. It's called Don't Box Me In, and it's from the soundtrack from the 1983 Coppola film Rumblefish, and was written and performed by Stuart Copeland of The Police and Stan Ridgway from Wall of Voodoo. It's a quirky and haunting soundtrack in general, and this song is no exception. I used to own it on cassette in my teens and listen to it insistently on my Walkman. Jesus Christ, I had a Walkman too, oh boy. Fuck, I'm old. Anyway, I've always had a personal connection to this song, even though it's a bit on the esoteric side. Definitely not your usual pop song. I really enjoyed singing it and wanted to share my fondness for it with you guys. Thanks for indulging me. Your pal, Pat, the Batman fan. Thank you, Pat. Let's fire it up here.
I hate to break it to you, Pat, but I have actually heard that song, but you did an amazing job.
Amazing job, Pat.
Amazing job.
Yeah, Chanda said, say that again. I don't think it went over. You hate to break it to him?
Oh, I hate to break it to you. I have actually heard that song. I am a big Copeland fan. It goes back to the 80s. So yeah, I love it.
No, that was really great.
You did a great job though. Amazing job, Pat.
And Farron, you better karaoke for us. We're gonna.
Heck yeah! Oh, I know she's got.
We're bringing. Like I said, if we don't get Farron fired next week, and she's a good sport, we're gonna bring her on Saturday night. And we got some stuff. We're gonna have Farron join in the fun. We're gonna have it a little more entertaining and less so informative, we hope. But we got some ideas.
I say that every week, and then I gotta pull you back.
I know. But
this is supposed to be funny. Come on.
Like I said, Farron's funny, and she's got a great voice, and she's very animated, high energy. Can I have a transfusion, by the way, while you're here?
Yeah, right.
So we're gonna.
Well, if you had enough money, you could.
Yeah, probably. The vampire cult these days we got going on. It is.
Dance off.
It is dance off time, and I'm gonna say it again. Chanda, I am going to vote for you again, just because I always do. But don't eke Oz out too quick on this, guys. This is really fun. Chanda.
We'll see.
We'll see. Copyright strike.
I figured you would take a copyright for it.
I'm going to take one for the next one too. I didn't have time to cut this up, so. Wow, I'm all hot and
That one made
steamy
me
now.
sweat. Yeah, that made me sweat, man.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, everybody, you got your scorecards going there, so it's time for old Oz to take a shot at this. I'm going to vote for you. You know, I love your work, Chanda. You are just the bomb. Here comes.
Well, you won last week, right?
Yeah, I think so. Arim, thank you, Arims. Oz.
I've seen a lot of Oz's. Oh my gosh. I think Oz might be winning, even though I said I want to win this week.
Yeah, no, that was not bad. I got
You got your license last week. That's an appropriate song, right? And the flip was impressive. I think you got it with the flip.
Yeah, we'll let it sit here for a while, guys. Yeah, we'll get it sit here for a while. I try and make them as close as possible. Kung Fu Dancing Oz, Jim. Thanks, Jim.
I see more Oz's.
More Oz's.
I see more
Wow.
Oz. Oz.
Oh boy.
Everybody's vote. Don't make me vote for Oz, Kate. You can vote for Oz. It's okay.
Farron. Sorry. Oz. Oh, I think I got it. God damn. It's not for a lack of trying there, Chanda. I tried.
I know. I tried. I guess.
Okay. Well, next week we're gonna
try again next week.
I think you know what would be fun. I think we should invite Farron to our dance off next week. What do you think?
Farron, are you fair game? You want to be in?
You want to be in the dance off, Farron? Come on, Farron. I think you should. Oz got great extension. You know that toe jump
Guys, I know.
That
The toes
was
were
it right there.
pointed, man. He had jazz toes going on.
You know what? And I miss dancing because I really did dance. Nowhere near that level, but
That's why we do dance off.
I was pretty good. So back in the day. So I guess I got to take it again. Now I'm 2 up on you again now.
I know.
You're gonna have to catch up and beat the shit out of me here, I think.
Okay,
So-
well, I got you back because I refaced you on Will Smith.
Oh, thank you very little.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm the best.
Not really. Oh, thank you for refacing me on Will Smith. I'm not very happy with that young man or that older man these days. What do we got? We got a movie here. And then
This is our movie of the night. It's called Things to Do Before I Die. It's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It's 4:20.
All right. What to do. Let's rock and roll it.
Oh, thanks, Barbara. Like Jilly says. Oh, I thought it was over. I thought that was a cute message. Like Jilly said, don't let your bucket list become your fuck it list.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that. And I'll say again, the way we treat our mothers and fathers in this country as a whole is kind of disgraceful, if not very disgraceful. And that made me feel pretty good, you know. I appreciate that, Chanda. You're a very thoughtful person.
Well, I thought it's a good reminder to not just, I mean, your bucket list, but challenge yourself. Even if, you know, like Jilly said, when you're poor, your bucket list becomes a bucket list because you're poor. So, I'll never be able to do those things. But just challenging yourself like daily to push yourself past your own comfort zones is such a reward at the end of it. I mean, I don't know how many times you and I have gone into something like, God, I don't want to do this. And then when we get through it, it is rewarding.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
It reminds me that's what the whole point of being alive is to challenge yourself.
And that's, once again, mutual aid. Another example of mutual aid. I'm going to pound that. We are going to pound that one out there because in order, and I talked to Eric the Red today about this too, we have to be conscious of mutual aid on a grand scale because it's going to
not just money.
It's not money.
It's not giving your time. It's giving your energy. It's giving your knowledge. It's
It's all of the above. And your energy, your life force, and that's what mutual aid is all about. And something that we don't get from the Academy Worst Awards of 2022, Worsts Awards of 2022. We got Jason Momoa, Ellie Eilish, Lady Gaga. And let me see, we got Daniel Craig, and this is Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Maggie Gyllenhaal. I don't know who I think this is a young man from Doom. You think with that overpriced outfit he's got, he could have afforded a shirt. And this guy right here, I don't know, did he kill his couch or something to make that one? So I don't know.
Maybe he's getting ready to volunteer to go to Ukraine.
I guess it's according to taste. I shouldn't be.
What is all over Maggie Gyllenhaal's dress? What is that?
It looks like the top
coat hooks.
Coat hooks. I think so.
Coat hooks. Yeah. Here, hang your coat here. Yeah, there was one that maybe I'll find it for next week. It's got this hand around the throat. It's a dress. I was just like, oh no, I could never do that.
Yeah, that's just, and the price tags on these things could probably feed a lot of people. Not that whatever, but I think money better spent than that kind of shit. But it's part of the gig, right?
I think most reasonable Americans
part of the gig. And again, we run our Mayan satire, and there's Shanda's QR, there's Oz's QR. We have a Super Ray over there I'd like to call out. No, I should have called it out earlier. I'm so sorry. A-Rem, thank you for the Super Ray, and Ronnie Graham and Anna Maris, thank you for the Super Rays. We love you guys too, and we appreciate the support. Always remember when giving Super Rays, don't cut yourself short, guys. It's the first.
Times are tough, and everybody's hurting.
Times are tough, and everybody, and we really absolutely appreciate it so much. Well,
but I did drop our link tree, and that has all of our links to all of our different. You can check out our merch store, where our merch is still up. I haven't pulled any of it, but I'm getting ready to do a redesign on our merch store, so you can check that out. Joey's Coffee. You can get to Joey's Coffee and order, and you can also get to a lot of our different social media links.
Absolutely, and we are May 1st is the big drop day for the new format, and hopefully we'll have upscaled everything next week. Announcements. We've got Tuesday, we've got Shorts with Pat the Batman fan. That's Beauty and the Boomer Shorts. You got something going with Pasta Jar Dula.
We're supposed to have the return of To Hell and Back, which I'm super excited for because we haven't done one in, I think, 2 months now. But Hunter Carranza's joining us as a host, which is going to be exciting because she represents a demographic that I really would love to hear from, the younger generation when it comes to what we talk about, and that's addiction and big pharma and health. It's basically what To Hell and Back is. And, there was a drug that has started reports are talking about this week. It's called ISO, and it's a new drug that popped up during spring break, and it's killing kids, and it's 20 times stronger than fentanyl.
I don't know how that can be.
I know, right? It's mind-boggling. I've got the reports, and I can't wait for us to get back out and start talking about these important issues that are just engulfing working Americans.
Yeah. Well, that's. I'm looking forward to Hell and Back as well. And then the next morning, Friday, we're going to be on Fault Lines with Jamal Thomas and Fair and Balanced. Like I said, we're going to try and behave, but it's really tough. What did you say in the green room? Us not using language?
Oh my gosh, I know. I've done a couple of on-air interviews, and as long as they're short and I don't get too fired up, I normally don't have to worry about language. But I cuss like a damn sailor.
You better not. She won't. We won't be able to get on there.
Right, I know. And
I don't want to
it's gonna have to
day.
be, and it's super early in the morning too. So I'm gonna have to be like super conscious.
Okay, I'll just wire your chair with a buzzer.
I know.
And,
Oz will probably do most of the talking.
I'm not. I can't talk. I can't speak. You're the speaking.
Whatever.
And then next Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific.
I'll bring my
Fair and Balanced is going to be on, bringing her talents to the show. We so appreciate that, Farron. We're looking forward to having a great time. And yeah, it's going to be more entertainment. We're going to have a little bit of stuff. And God knows, with everything that's happening out there, we really don't know from one show to the next what we're going to have.
I know some shows are funny, and sometimes we have to talk about things. And, it used to be different when we did the dive, because Monday we would push a lot of the serious stuff to Monday's show. And then, of course, we had the Rockfin exclusive on Mondays, so we could really talk about things that we can't talk about on YouTube. But we haven't had that because we haven't been doing the dive for the last couple of weeks. And Amber, of course, is out of town. And so, yeah, a lot of it ends up here. We will get funnier is what I'm
we're going to do our best. And we're going out with something. You want to parse this right here, what we're going out with? It's the walk.
I am a huge Pantera fan, and I have been looking for a walk cover to bring to Beauty and the Boomer now since the inception of Beauty and the Boomer. Since back when we were on Uphill Media, I wanted to bring a walk cover. But this is a heavy metal hard song. And I finally found an amazing cover that the girl just owns it. And I just love how she made it an original like to her.
Yeah, she really, really did. I liked it too. We took it into DaVinci this morning and we tried to clean it up a little bit just out of appreciation because her microphone setup wasn't the greatest, but she does a great job on this. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you everybody in the chats. You guys rock. And
shout out to A-Rim for the Ray. Thank you.
And Ronnie Graham again, and Anna Maris. Thank you so much. Let me get back over there so I can see everybody that's in there. And
we're good. We got them all.
And we got everybody over there. Kate
A-Rim always comes
Kate,
in last
likewise.
minute.
Pantera. We're going to go out with Pantera. Choosy, I didn't call you out. Bella Lugosi.
We're going out with Pantera.
You're going to go out with Pantera. Good night, Kate. Wait, Shanda going to be on Fault Lines. Do you know how early that is? I don't know how early that is. I think it's like 3:30 in the morning, isn't it?
No, I think it's 6 our time.
Oh, okay. 6 our time.
6 a.m.
So we won't clash with our show that's on Thurston Community Media. And that's
we could get up early and watch ourselves.
Yeah, we can watch our shows on Thurston Community Media. Shout out to Thurston Community Media and Vic, BSA Dims. Appreciate that. We're going out now. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening. And we're going to go out with a walk. Pantera.
1, 2, 3, 4. lashing out at you. You wanted to get under my skin. You call yourself a friend. I've got more friends like you. What do I do? Is there no standing anymore? What it takes, who I am, where I've been belong. You can't be something you're not. Be yourself, by yourself. Stay away from me. A lesson learned in life, known from the dawn of time. Respect. Oh, what do you say? Respect. Oh, what do you say? Run your mouth when I'm not around. It's easy to achieve. You cry to weak friends who sympathize. Can you hear the violence playing your song? Those same friends tell me your every word. Is there no standing anymore? What it takes, who I am, where I've been belong. You can't be something you're not. Be yourself, by yourself. Stay away from me. A lesson learned in life, known from the dawn of time. Respect. Oh, what do you say? Respect. Oh, what do you say? Respect. Oh, what do you say? Respect. Oh, what do you say?
Good night, Peggy.